With most in-person worship services shut down, many churches across America are finding unique ways to celebrate Easter this weekend. Still, other congregations plan to meet, though. And back again for more on that is David Brody. David, what's the pushback been like for evangelical leaders who choose to keep on meeting?
Well, there's been quite a bit of pushback actually from other evangelical pastors who say, what are you doing? And we're going to talk about that in a moment with Tony Perkins, the president of the Family Research Council. He is actually holding a service with the Central Area Pastors Association, but it's not your traditional in the pews service, nothing like that. And it's not even online. It's a big drive-in service. Bring your car, come just as you are, in your car to the Baton Rouge area, sunrise, or I should say 7 a.m. service on Easter. It's going to be a big one down there in Baton Rouge. So that's what they're looking forward to. But I also talked to Tony Perkins specifically about this Louisiana pastor who now has 6 misdemeanors against him because he is not obeying state authorities when it comes to holding church. Church services. He says he's going to hold them regardless. Now, this guy, Pastor Tony Spell, is an actual friend of Tony Perkins. Here's some of that story.
I've talked with him multiple times. In fact, went to see him with the sheriff and encourage him not to meet, but to explore other alternatives. In fact, I had arranged with the local Christian station if he would be willing not to meet. The Christian station agreed to air his Sunday message so that his parishioners, some of which are children, some 600 that he buses in from the inner city, that he said does not have internet. I said, well, they can have access to an FM station, and we'll air your message on the FM station if you just would not meet. And this is important. Look, I understand religious freedom, and that's one of the reasons the sheriff called me. I mean, I'm the chairman of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. I travel to some of the worst places in the world to advocate for religious freedom. What's happening in this jurisdiction is not an issue of religious persecution or restriction of religious freedom. The message is not being restricted. It's just the meeting, and it's being applied across the board. I know all of the officials involved. I've worked with them, and this is an issue of endangering the community. He's become kind of a symbol of resistance to tyrannical government. And I'm not saying that there are not places where some are taking advantage, like the mayor of New York, who said, if the synagogues didn't shut down, they would shut them down permanently.
Right.
Now, whether he misspoke or was overly zealous, he's never clarified to my knowledge, but that's not happening here. And if it were, believe me, I would be standing on the side of Pastor Spell. But in this case, it is not that. It is an issue of the well-being of the public.
We should point out that Pastor Spell will continue to lead services. I asked Tony Perkins about that. I said, Tony, is there any chance that he's going to give in? And Tony just shook his head and said, absolutely not. He's dug in on that.